A sound check from Donald any second now. It is now 5:11. Welcome to Tea Time with Kitty. Thanking everyone as they have a second to get all logged in. Welcome. Hey, Mika girl. Hey, Meek. Giving everyone just a second to get all logged in. Thank you, Donald. He always does my sound check for me to make sure I'm all set to go. And we're going to get ready to jump right on in. So first and foremost, welcome to Tea Time. I do want to give a few shout outs for February birthdays. If there's anybody that I missed in the chat, please feel free to add them in. So we just want to take a second to recognize February birthdays. And today is my nephew Sage birthday. Hey sis, we celebrated my niece Rissa, my aunt Delvina. We'll be celebrating my uncle Butch, who is the oldest male in our family, on the 28th. Heavenly birthday to my little cousin Bird, Boo, and Quan. And also it was a happy birthday to my goddaughter Kaya, who turned a big 21. And Daniel will celebrate his birthday tomorrow. So happy birthday to all of those February birthdays. If I missed anybody out, please drop them in the chat because we want to send happy birthdays their way. Next up, before we had those guys on here doing the pre Super Bowl, making all the sorts kinds of noise. We had Rissa on here from Glitz, Glitz and Lashes, right? And I just wanted to show you all that I did get lashes done for Valentine's Day for Love Month. And I had my lashes on. So as you all can see, I wear a mild version of lashes. I don't do the whole real big busy type of lash setting because lashes are for everybody. So it can be for the milder look, or it can be for the busier look. But for some of those who don't wig lashes, I just wanted to show you all that it doesn't always have to be that busy look. I try to wear a very natural lash when I do wear them, and hopefully I can keep them maintenance. Hey Chucky, through my mom's birthday. And speaking of my mom's birthday, invitations did go out today for my mom's birthday. So they were sent out to everyone. Hey, Nah, I hope you received it. If not, charge it to my head and not my heart and reach out to me so that I can make sure you have your invitation for her birthday. We'll be celebrating her 70th birthday, 70 Shades of Blue, on March the 9th. That's Saturday, March the 9th. And the time is from 3 to 9, which is also her birthday, 3/9. You know, I like to be a little creative with it, right? Okay, so let's see what else we have. Before I get into the today's topic, we're going to do a few little things next week. First and foremost, and I'm going to say it again at the end. I want you all to send me in a chat. It can be an email, it can be a phone text, it could be a phone call. I just want you to send someone to me who you feel truly needs to make history. You know, because when we talk about history, and although it is our history, we go way back. I'm talking about the 1954, 56, and on that. and pretty much the Dr. King and the Malcolm X era and the Rosa Parks and the Harriet Tubman. But we need to really focus on history that's still being made today. We need to focus on our African Americans who are still striving for greatness today and recognizing people. So if there's somebody that has made a difference in your life, it could have been a counselor, it could have been a teacher. It could have been someone who was like family. Let's give them a shout out next Wednesday. Next Wednesday will be the last Wednesday in the month of February. So we definitely want to go out with a big bang for Black history. One of the people that we don't talk about as much, and she's on the list of, let me pull it up for you all. She is on the list for, she's number one on the list, the title, 23 Black leaders who are shaping history today. And she's, hi, Auntie. Thank you for joining. That's Auntie Morris, my DHS auntie. So glad to see you on here. She's one of the 23 Black leaders who are shaping history today. And one of the ones that was at the top of the chart was our Vice President, Kamala Harris. I like to refer to her as my cousin. And she is the first Black vice president and also the first woman vice president. So we definitely want to recognize her. Someone else, number two, and she's 56 years old, and they have a lot of little information about her. And when we talk about the Black History or American History Month, we're going to African American History Month. We're going to speak to a little bit more African Americans. And then the second person was someone named Rosalind Brewer. I did not know her at all, but she's Walgreens' next CEO and the only Black woman who currently leads a Fortune 500 company. Hey, sis. Did anybody know her? I never heard of her before. Rosalind Brewer. And she is the only Black woman currently leading a Fortune 500 company. And then when we scroll down a little bit more to the third person that really caught my eye, and her name is Dr. Kissamia. And I know I may have messed this up. Corbett. Her first name is spelled Kizzmekia. She's only 35. Lead scientist on the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine team. She is the lead scientist at only 35 years old. And there's a whole big article on those three people as one of the 23 leaders shaping for African American women. Please look into some of them. So when your children next year, if not, if it's too late this year, needs to talk about someone making history, we really need to get outside of the box and do a little bit more with digging into people that's making history for our children, because Martin Luther King and all those are great people and they're a part of our history. But now as our kids grow older, those persons are much older than them, and they're not as instrumental into the roles of their life. And although we know that they're important and we're not taking it away, but let's let them see more of newer faces that they can pretty much relate to. Okay, so back in December, this is nothing but love, favor, all those good things. But back in December, I was nominated for a KFIS award. And if Yanni's on, hopefully she can drop it in the chat because I didn't get to put the name in. I had never heard of the award before. It was a DC government award, and we're going to make sure we drop it in the chat. And it was for persons who are going above and beyond with doing great services in DC. Now, I've been working for DC government for probably close to 20 years. Next year will be 20 years. And I had never heard of it before. Well, several people recommended me for the award. And I am so thankful and so grateful. But when I heard the number of people that I was going up against, I was like, oh, okay, that's nice that people thought of me and wanted to say something nice. It's nothing but pure love. But I later got, so when the names first went in, I was going up against I think 3,600 people, something to that effect. And then I got an email about a week ago saying that I was one of the 14 finalists. So that means that, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. They don't have to do another thing. I was going up against 3,600 some odd people, and now I'm down to 14. It started reminding me of my worth and my importance, and how that I will not get discouraged in this journey, right? I will not, because sometimes we talk about love, we talk about love month. Thank you so much, but we forget to really recognize ourselves. But with all the congrats that you all got going out, on this past Friday, I received an email that I was one of the winners. So thank you all so much. I'm going to try to reach out. They shared some names with me, not all yet, but I'm going to try to reach out. And for you to be able, as a African American woman, a single mom, someone that was not at the top of the educational pole, someone who was a teen mom with so many different odds stacked against them, and to be able to compete with people of all races, all males and females from different areas for this award. And getting down to the 3,000 and something meant everything. But to really be able to be a winner of something that I had never even heard of, it really got me to thinking, and it really tells me that my fight and my journey is not over with. So thank you to all of you all who found it not robbery. I mean, like, just hearing some of the letters that some people wrote about me, I had to be like, hold on, did I meet her before? I didn't even know that I was that great. So in the month of love, just know that I love you. I am so appreciative for you all taking it out of your busy schedule, because one of my friends said to me, she said, well, anybody can say something nice about you, but when people take the time to write up something on you and who you are, you all don't know how that impacted me. So thank you all so much. Enough about me though. So let's go into the month of love. We didn't get to get on favor ain't fair. Thank you, Jesus. We didn't get to talk on Valentine's Day because I had me a whole powwow that I didn't know set up. But I wanted to talk to you all. I was reading an article, and it was about a month ago. I saved it for February. And there was a man who was divorcing his wife because she cut her hair. And I know that some men like long hair, some like blonde hair, but to actually divorce someone because they cut their hair, I needed to hear from Tea Time. Is there anybody on Tea Time that has a deal breaker? Because you think about relationships and you say, hey, we break up because we don't agree anymore. We break up because of finances. We break up because of cheating. But to hear that someone marriage, and I want to say they were married for about 13 years, and that their marriage was ending because she cut her hair. Is there anybody on Tea Time today that have any deal breakers, whether you're married or whether you plan to be married? Is there something that your partner could do to make you call it quit? Does anybody have anything? I know a lot of times weight can be a deal breaker, if someone gains too much weight. But is there anything that you can think of that would be a deal breaker? And if it's not anything that you can think of, maybe it's something that you know of someone who called it quits because of something non-negotiable, no relationship with God. Okay, so you cannot be with someone if they are not with God. Okay, that's awesome. And that's so important because you're a woman, because believe it or not, there is a lot of way more women in church than men. I don't like really short hair. Okay, so you don't like really short hair. That's not liking it. But could you counsel your wedding, your marriage for short hair, even a boyfriend or a girlfriend type thing? Could you counsel it because their hair is short? Going to jail. Someone just text me going to jail. If someone went to jail, you would end the relationship with them. Wow. Having outside kid is a deal breaker. Oh, wow. I didn't even put that, but that is so true. And I was real close beside a cousin who went went through such, and it was a really challenging time. And that is something that's really deep, like the deal breaker with having a child outside. Now I'm going to ask another question about the child outside. Say you and your spouse been married 10 years, right? And they found out they have a 15-year-old. Would that still be part of the deal breaker? Like, what if they honestly didn't know? Or would you be a little bit more open for that because it was prior to your marriage, right? Deal breaker, I can't trust her. So a deal breaker is somebody that you cannot trust with all the love and love month. But if you feeling like you can't trust her, it's over. Okay, cheating or getting pregnant by somebody else. Okay, so you're right with sis with that outside of the box. So life had a song about that. Like you can love somebody so much where even if it's not their child, they're still hanging in there. No, that's different. They didn't know. Right. Okay, okay. Just want to make sure we're on the same page. Anyone else? What is a minor deal breaker? See, most of you all have said really great things, and I'm leaning with you with those things. But what about, because cutting the hair was a little different. Like that wasn't anybody violating you or deceiving you. What about cutting the hair? Like what would you all see from that person's perspective as to why they would leave that person? I ain't helping raise another dude back. Yes, you will. You never know. What if you meet a nice young lady? You never know. No, oh, that's a big one. No respect for their parents. Now let me tell you something, sister. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to that because it's really hard for a man to love a woman that don't when he don't love his mother. Now, I am not saying that his mother can't get on his last nerve. I'm not saying that he don't know his mother. It's crazy. It's all outdoors. But for somebody to have a bottled up hate about their mom, and I'm only speaking from a woman, so I can't speak from the male perspective or how they may feel, but be very mindful and very careful of that. Let's see. Um, okay, so someone else just texted and said if he cut his beard and he starts to look ugly underneath the beard. Okay, so we talked about the woman with the haircut. I'm talking about if they have okay, got you, Christian. Hey, Mika, someone who is financially irresponsible. That is a great point. Financially irresponsible, because he's not saying that they don't have to make as much money as he makes. He's not saying that they can't fall on hardship. But here he's talking about being financially irresponsible, because someone that's financially irresponsible, just like someone that may not know the Lord, can definitely make your stuff go downhill fast. Downhill very fast. Is there anybody else to just sit back and say, because we're really good at looking at somebody else's situation. We'll look at someone else's situation and say what we would or would not do. But as for you, what is another deal breaker for you? I'm just cutting the hair just seems so much. Okay, so I'm going to put a few out and you all can chime in. Weight. How important is someone's weight? I don't know if people really focus too much on losing weight. I don't know if anybody probably would leave someone for losing it, but I do know that they sometimes will leave people for gaining a bunch of it. How many pounds is enough pounds for you to say you may leave someone? Is it 100 pounds? What do you think? Would they have to be 200 pounds? How much? Oh, okay. So we got two more here. We got can't have kids. So you could really leave someone. What if they didn't know? Like, oh my gosh, can't have kids, male or woman. Okay, because sometimes it's not just the woman; it can be the man. Bad sex. Okay, so since we're on bad sex, right? Since we're on bad sex, what about, has anybody? Well, I know I'm not going to ask you that question. I'm just going to ask you, do you know somebody? I ain't going to ask you that question. What if you do, or do you know anyone that may have gotten married before having experience with the person, right? You know how they say, to do things decent and in order, you're supposed to be married and then you can have sex. So that would be a real prime example of getting married to someone and being very disappointed in their sex. Not being able to communicate. Every disagreement is not an argument. Okay, talk about that, Mousy. Every disagreement is not an argument, but delivery is important, right? Delivery is important. So it's definitely true that every disagreement, I mean, it's not an argument, but we want to make the delivery because sometimes if we come aggressive, we'll sometimes get an aggressive response, right? Um, the sex gotta be incredible. Okay, hold on. What sex gotta be incredible? Are you talking? Hold on. You gotta help me out here because you done went from every disagreement not being an argument. Then you said that the sex gotta be incredible. So, are you speaking of marrying someone before you had a chance to try it out? You gotta come back with something with that. I don't mind weight gain, but man, titties are a deal breaker. I like that so much because men are normally the ones that kind of critique women more about weight. So, and some of these men do got some jacked up baddies. Now, I ain't talking about fat. I'm talking about I know some slim dudes who got camel toes and all that kind of stuff. So that's very important. You don't want the man tits. Old traditions die out. Okay, old traditions are out because y'all was on that. Oh, okay. So you was helping us out with that. So now, yeah, this podcast is for 18 and over. And even though you're 17 and happen to be in, we never know when you're joining us. Sometimes you join us, sometimes you go for months and don't join us. But let me just say, sex is natural, and them ain't no vegan ears over there, okay? But sex is natural and it's not bad, so it's just information purposes. But thank you so much. We are aware that you're there. Anybody else? Any other deal? Any other deal breakers? I want to hear any more deal breakers. While we're waiting to catch up on any, if he cut his beard, oh, okay, we read that one. Okay, okay. The person is boring. Yeah, I don't like boring people. I don't want a senior citizen until I'm a senior citizen. I love senior citizens, but I don't want no couch potato. While our legs and knees still work, let's go out and cut a rug. That's what they call it. Cut a rug. Let's go cut a rug. While we're waiting for anyone else to drop in with anything else that could be a deal breaker for them, no stable employment. And a lot of times, people that don't have stable employment are not stable, right? A lot of times, there can be some barriers going on there, there can be some trauma, or either there can be some mental health that's making them not be able to be stable. And not only will it affect their employment, you'll see it throughout their houses, throughout their life, with how often they move, how often they switch jobs. How often they switch friends. Like, so many different things you'll find that's not stable alongside with the employment. Um, is there anybody on tea time while we're still talking about love? Shut up with the no passport. While we're talking about love, that did something special for their self. Did anyone do anything special for their self for Love Month and Black History Month? This is our month. And I know that we always talk about loving on our spouse all year long, but this right here is something extra. Like, like for instance, Mother's Day. We love our mother all year long, but on Mother's Day, we do a little something extra, right? So did anybody gotta like kids, great? Did anybody do something special for themselves? They may have dyed their hair a certain color. They may have gotten that membership to the gym. They may have gotten an additional item off their credit. Is there anybody who did something special or just something that you have been wanting to do and have not had a chance to do? Please make sure you let us know what that be. Must be that is so great. Must be. Definitely has to be that because that means a lot. And don't go dumping on your spouse. Love on people. You don't know what people is going through. Love on people. Maybe next month, but we know you got May coming around the corner anyway, Jackie. But love on people, right? Like, like I get such gratification on loving on people, like doing nice things for people, treating people right. And I know I can be mean and I'll get upset, but my overall focus is that approach because there's so much anger going on in the world that we need to take care of people. Please do that. Okay, so before I get ready to wrap tea time up, of course, you all know I love you all so much. Of course, you all are going to send me some emails, some texts, or something about someone who's made a big impact in your life. I already have my person ready. Um, I like being mean sometimes people need it. Shut up. But I wanted to tell you about one of my coworkers almost got scammed yesterday. Well, we're in the process of getting scammed yesterday while I was at work. One of my staff persons, and they came in and talked to me. So I said, I am going to talk to Tea Time tomorrow because I caught that bit end of it, but they came and shared, right? So we're not going to get into who it is or whatever the case, but this is income tax season, right? And a lot of us get money back. Some of us do, some of us don't. If we don't get anything back, chances are we probably already got a little something in the account. And if we do get something back, it's probably already in our account or about to be in our account already. People are scamming in all sorts of ways, right? This particular person called the colleague of mine saying things like, if she don't respond to this, she's gonna be arrested. They needed her bank account information and just went on and on. And when people call you with this type of stuff, the first human nature is you become scared, you may panic, you want to know what's going on. Nobody just wants to go to jail over a credit card. So you may get a little alarmed. If anybody ever calls you about anything, the first thing you need to get from them is their contact information and their email address. That's the first thing you need. Because when I called the number back from her, that's when we knew it was a scam. I called it back from my cell phone. And make sure you're not giving, I don't care who it is. Social Security will let you know, and IRS will let you know in most of the recordings. We are not calling you over the phone. So be very careful of that. I just seen a movie. I was supposed to be seeing uh Bob Marley, but we end up seeing the beekeeper, the bee maker, something like that at the movies. And it was with Felicia Rashad, and it talked about her being scammed. Like they scammed her for all her money, they scammed her from all the beekeeper. Thank you for all of everything that she had, and she ended up killing herself. And people proud on elderly people a whole lot with these phone calls. So, as much as your parents and your grandparents have loved on you, make sure you're loving back on them by being involved. Check on them. If you have a parent or a grandparent, aunt or uncle, and you haven't checked in on them, because people are out here and they're not savvy. Like, because I'm definitely not as savvy as younger folks, half my age, and they don't know what to do. They don't know what to say, how to respond. They sometimes panic. They sometimes become agitated, and someone can swindle them out of the house that you thought was going to be your home one day. So please, please, please make sure that we're paying attention to that. Don't give anybody your information. Don't give anybody your bank account information. I remember one time when Yanni computer went out and they said it was Microsoft and they needed her credit card information. It's just so amazing that it's somebody's job to take your money. We already got Uncle Sam to do it, right? And we already got to give out 10% to the church. The last thing we need is another person to come in and take any more of our wave. You can't see me? No, no. You tell me the wave. And to take our money from us. Oh, now, okay. And to take our money from us, we have worked hard to get to where we are, right? We have worked really, really hard to get to where we are. So please, please make it your business to protect what you have. Sometimes it's a good idea to have a saving account that's not linked up to your checking account. It's also good to have a saving account that's not linked up to an ATM card, because sometimes they don't even need the card itself to get in and take money. They take money. They've taken money off my credit card, even though my bank actually notified me and was able to get correct things right away. But what if that's somebody mortgage and that's all you have in your account? What if that's your car note? What if that's your rent money? What if sometimes that's all somebody has? So you have to safeguard what you have. And if you have a lot of money in one spot, please break it up. Do not have everything you own. I don't care if it's 100,000. Do not have that whole 100,000 in one account, because if someone gets in it, that's $100,000 gone that quick. Break it up. 10,000 here, 10,000 there, 40,000 any and everywhere. But do not put all your eggs in one basket. So, on that note, tea time, again, happy birthday to all of the February birthdays. Happy Love Month. Happy African American History Month as we continue to strive for greatness. Shout out to Tony on his big accomplishment and his line of work. If you're still on, Tony, and you can drop it in because y'all know that my memory goes sometimes and I don't want to be typing or saying the same thing, but we definitely congratulate you. Keep being the awesome person that you are. Prayers going up to my sister with her decision that she's about to make with her new employment. Shout out to you, Mika. And thank you to each and every one. Odeyan is now um uh, hold on, is it LLC for Maryland and is about to take on her big case. Um, so that's all we have for now. So shout out to each and every one of you. Keep loving on yourself. Love on. Let me one more thing. Hold on, one more thing. 88 Sawan, happy birthday to Auntie's mommy. Tea time, let her know happy birthday. Happy 88 years. Oh my gosh, happy birthday. And let me tell you all something. It is a great thing to take good care of your man. It's an even greater thing to take good care of your woman. But the best thing is to take care of you. Don't you be out here arguing, running, chasing behind nobody and making them run from you because they scared of how you looking. If you gonna come look for your man, come look for him nice and cute, right? If you're gonna come look for your lady, come look for her nice and smelling good. Don't you come out that door looking for somebody like a chicken with your head cut on. Take care of you. Put some emphasis into you. And love you guys. And I see you next week. Next week we will be talking African American history. You want to be chased? Okay, got it. Okay. Have a good one, everyone. Happy birthday, Sage.